Alright. Now, the gaming community is all messed up in general, but this specific community I will be talking about today. And it's the people who play single player games. Not all of them, but some of them. And when I say this, I mean the people who strictly play single player games. People who strictly play single player games. That's what I'm talking about. The people who play single player games, I'm not trying to sound crazy, but have to be the most insufferable people I've ever seen on the internet. Like, to a large majority. Like, they're a group of people who care so much about what another group of people do with their free time. Like the only people I've seen like them that do this type of thing are the women who make their whole channel about hating men, the men who make their whole channel about being some alpha loser, homophobes, racists, and I think I take to other things. They care so much about what other people do. I mean, I get it. You care about this media. You care about this game. You hate when people just disrespect quotation marks, the game that you love with all your heart. This single player game is one of the best games out there. It's just amazing in every shape, form, or fashion. And you don't understand why these people who only play multiplayer or even have an opinion on it. But it's like, it's a game. Anyone can have an opinion on the game, even if you don't like the opinion. It's never that deep that you have to be that insufferable about it. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that serious where you have to be making constant videos about how multiplayer people are stupid. And then they're so backwards because I hearing all the time how more people should play single player games and how they try to get the other people to play single player games, but they happen to be one of the most aggressive people I've seen in my life. If you ask a question they don't like, say something they don't like about their game, they get so aggressive and angry. It doesn't even make sense. And I mean, okay, but it gets to a point. You know what I'm saying? Now, multiplayer people do it too, but I don't see it on the scale of single player. Like, single player people make videos about how this multiplayer person is a stupid idiot, you know? And I understand them. Completely. I love single player games. I really, really do. But these motherfuckers take it to a whole nother level. And I mean, like, I'm not some type of, I like multiplayer games. I've played multiplayer games. I have a platinum for a single player game. You know? Played multiple different. I mean, you can see in the background. You're gonna see in the background a couple of single player games that I'm playing right now. This is to show that I like single player games. I play single player games, but I don't really play single player games. So one of the things I've seen that brought me to this conclusion that single player players hate people who play multiplayer is I seen this one guy talking about single player, and then one of the things he mentioned was, I don't understand it, or I don't like you single player guys because why this, that, and the third. And then he was like, why don't y'all want to play with us? Like, I guess he's talking about a friend that only plays single player games, and some guy said, if you don't understand why people don't like multiplayer games, you don't read books. What type of conclusion is that? That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my fucking life. Then some other guy said that people who only play competitive games don't like games. They just like the itch that games, that the itch that they get from winning and just being in a competitive scenario. That makes little to no sense. You think someone who spent days and nights, hours and hours, put so much effort into a game so they can be better at it for years and years and years, spend money to get to fly out and compete, and if they don't like it, not only is becoming a competitive player on games is harder than just going to a place and getting a job application. It's one of the hardest jobs to get, and it's not even really necessary because it's not even 100% that you get paid for it. So not only is it really fucking hard to become a competitive player, but you also have to spend hours, and you also the chance of you getting paid is not 100%. So you're telling me someone who doesn't have the chance to get paid 100% has to work multiple days on end to get better, had to sit there with their team or their people and practice strategies, practice lineups, practice their aim, practice this and that and third. You think they don't like playing games? There's no way you're gonna do something like that so specific, so like, I'm not gonna say it's niche because playing games is a niche, but it's niche, and spend so long on it, and you're telling me you don't think they like games. No person is gonna spend that long playing game on something that specific and not like games. There's an obvious passion that has to be there if you're going to try to become a competitive player. I mean, yeah, it scratches that itch, but they also like games. That's why they decided to be a competitive player. That's why they decided to make their profession playing video games. And then what confuses me even more with this whole thing is the fact that there are so many people who play multiplayer games that also play single player games. So it's like they're arguing with a wall damn near, because I get it. So there's some people who only play 2K, only play Apex, only play Fortnite, this and that. But most people who play single player games also play multiplayer games, and it's a fat majority. I think I've seen it a stat line or a scale, and most of the people, and the large majority of the people who play single player games also play multiplayer games. So that confuses me. Like, you're arguing with a small amount of the people who play multiplayer games, but y'all act like we're so different. That's what confuses me most. They act like we're so different. Act like we're a different species, damn near. But it's like we play the same games as you. In fact, we're more, if you want to really say it, we're more of gamers because you only play single player games. We play single player games and multiplayer games, but y'all want to argue. And it's not like I'm just going off of what I've seen on the internet. I have personal experience with this. I had this guy I know. He's horrible at multiplayer games. It's probably why he doesn't like it. He's just bad. He's bad and not good. He constantly, without a single thought in his head, he constantly talks about how single player games are eventually, multiplayer games, what am I talking about? Stupid. This whole video is about single player. I'm talking about I'm sorry. He constantly talks about how multiplayer games are gonna die out. Not multiplayer games, he says multiplayer is gonna die out. That is one of the dumbest takes in all of mankind. There will never be a time where multiplayer is ever gonna die. Because you wanna know why? People are always going to want to play with their friends. There's never going to be a time where they're going to be like, oh man, I don't want to play with them. Fuck them. There's always going to be that thing where it's like, man, this game would be so cool if I could play with my friends. You know, that'd be awesome. If you're liking the video, yeah, I gotta do the classic YouTube video. If you're this far, you gotta subscribe. Come on. Don't be like that. Don't do me like this, just like it. I'm sorry. I wish I didn't have to do it to you either. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But please, bro, I'm tired of it too. But I don't make the rules. I don't. He does. Okay, he makes the rules. So please like and subscribe for me. And then we have that recent Mortal Kombat Classic Collection. It came out all broken. Then you got the people who were like, oh, too bad. I got what I want. The single player works. And I was like, okay, good for you. You sound like a dickhead, but okay. Because like, the big thing about it was like, oh, the selling point was like, oh man, you can play with your friends, but it came out broken and glitchy. They also didn't tell nobody how fucked up it was gonna be. Those came out broken and glitchy, and they didn't tell the people that you couldn't, because you couldn't make a lobby to invite your friends. You only play randoms. They didn't tell you that. And then we have another one where this, because I see this dude is making a multiplayer Infamous Second Son inspired Roblox game. Somebody in the comments, Infamous players would do anything but play Infamous. And it's like, to play with their friends? Is this something like they don't get? Like, from what I see, people who play single player games and hate multiplayer games, or hate people who play multiplayer games, they're either bad at games, don't have friends, or they don't like their friends enough to consider even thinking to play a game with them. That's the only way this can work out. Because I can't wrap my head around, but it's so unthinkable about wanting to play games with your friends and liking playing games with your friends, playing games online with other people. You know, it's like there's something I don't understand how it's so confusing on why people like that. You know, that seems like a pretty reasonable thing to me. You know, where like humans are a social species. We're made to talk to each other and communicate with each other. Multiplayer games are like it's kind of processed into our bodies and our brains to want to be together, you know? So playing games together is like not crazy at all. That's like literally the whole entire point of our race as a whole. And it feels like people who play single player games have this weird complex. I don't want to say it's a guy complex, but I don't know. There's this weird complex, and they just think they're just so much better than people who play multiplayer. And it's like, if you speak multiplayer into their mind, into near them, it's like they act like it's a sin or something. And it's like, oh man, like, damn, I just want to play with my friends. Am I a bitch now? And back to that other one, where the motherfucker was like, oh, if you don't understand what people like single player games, you don't read books. As a grown man, that is one of the dumbest, stupidest things I've ever heard a grown man say out of his mouth with a straight face. He 100% believed what he said. You too damn old to be saying dumbass shit like that. That's preschooler ass comebacks. That's fucking stupid. Shut the hell up, bro. You sound dumb as fuck saying some dumbass shit like that. Like, what are we talking about, yeah? Now motherfuckers don't read books, they don't understand why motherfuckers don't like single player games so much. But then you talking about some motherfuckers don't read books because they don't understand. Like, what the fuck? You like a dickhead. You like a dickhead. You really like, don't ever make a take ever again. Cause you that's too much for you, man. That's too much. That's too much. Too much talking. So much of your brain power getting used. Cause it seems like you just start spazzing out. You just start tweaking. And it confuses me because like we both play games. Both single player only, multiplayer only. Play both. All of us play games. Why are we arguing We are all we got. Because the motherfuckers who own these companies and choose what games get made don't give a fuck about us. We should be together as one, working together to make this shit better. Because we already fucking struggling. We're already struggling as it is. So we shouldn't be arguing. It shouldn't matter if a motherfucker like single player. It shouldn't matter if a motherfucker only play multiplayer. That shit shouldn't matter whatsoever. It should matter the fact that we both play games, we both love games, and we should be able to like whatever game the fuck we want without motherfuckers acting like we don't like games or we don't read books. Because if we don't got each other, the company's not gonna get us. So let's we just lock in. But that's just hoping and praying that people can accept one another for what games they play. But hey, a man's got a dream, am I right?